Well, the Old Pros is going to have a terrific production, and this is going to be called Radio Dramas, and it's going to be on July 17th and 18th. They do have performances at 7 o'clock for those 2 days, and then they have a terrific matinee performance at 2 o'clock on July 19th. And join us today is one of the stars of that production, and that's going to be Barbara Rush. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Oh, it's lovely to see you again.
Yes.
I've seen you at the theater.
You and I actually worked together a little
Yes,
bit.
we did.
I guess we can say that, right? Your history, though, is from really television back in the 50s and motion pictures as well. Before we get to your production, but you really were on the stage as entertainment and the industry really started to grow.
Mm-hmm. I did stage and television and film and all the rest of it. That's why I get a very good pension from a lot of different unions.
Yes, because you were there for a very long time.
Very long time.
What was your most favorite film or production that you ever really worked on, whether it was on stage or...
Oh, that's like naming your favorite child. I loved working with wonderful actors. Mm-hmm. I worked with Marlon Brando and Montgomery Clift, and I was talking in the dressing room there with James Mason, who is a wonderful man. But I think that I think of all the films I did, the one I just personally liked the most, and I think he did too. I wasn't his favorite, but he liked it. It was with Paul Newman, called The Young Philadelphians.
Oh, sure.
That was a wonderful story. Yeah. It was a story movie instead of a personality movie.
Right.
And I to this day, I think that is just a wonderful film. It's really about Paul, who was born illegitimately, you know, so forth. But he did not know that until, but the story was his rise to becoming a very important person.
Right.
And you felt at the end he would probably be the president of the United States. But it was a lovely movie.
Right. Now you are going to be performing in this terrific production called Inner Sanctum.
The Inner Sanctum.
Starring, it sounds, and this is, if people have watched radio or listened to radio shows, it's been that long. The creaky door was kind of the introduction.
Oh, and we had the creaky door.
Yeah.
We have our wonderful Johnny LeBecq, who won an Oscar for The Fugitive. Do you remember with the train crash and The Fugitive?
Absolutely.
Well, he won an Oscar for that. He's just a wonderful man, and he's at the side of the stage doing with all his do you know what Foley is?
Yes, we do.
Foley is sound, all the sound that accompanies, you know, the film. Yes, the horse. And so he's on the side of the stage, and we've got all the wind and the howls of the wolves. You know, we've got all the inner sanctum sounds. We have pushed in there. So they're very much a part of the show.
That's pretty much a mystery, right? These are.
It's a spooky thriller mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, the Inner Sanctum.
Great.
Yeah.
Now you're actually going to perform in that. Now we also have Nero Wolfe.
And Stagecoach.
And then Stagecoach as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. And for Stagecoach, we have the galloping horses.
Right.
I have a friend who does that. Yeah.
And that's the story of a lot of different people that get on the Stagecoach. I believe John Ford was originally part of that original production, and John Wayne was Ringo Kid at that time.
And Claire Trevor.
That's right.
Yeah, they were all in it.
Interesting group of people. It's almost, as I started to read it, it's like a reality TV back in the old days. Let's put all these, you have an alcoholic doctor, I believe, you have a prostitute,
yes, you do. Yeah.
You have a pregnant lady who's going to go visit her captain or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And let's put them in the Stagecoach and travel across the country. Oh, and have some Apaches attack
and have a few Apaches in there, yeah.
It's an amazing story.
Stagecoach was a wonderful picture, iconic. You know, I mean, there's some films that just last forever. I have a friend, Bob Osborne, who does Turner Classic Movies. He's the host of that. And the big thing is the turnout. I mean, the ratings they get for Turner Classic Movies. And it's a whole group of young people that they really don't. If you ask them, you know, well, who was Betty Davis or who was Greta Garbo? They know.
Right.
They know because of that particular station.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nero Wolfe, we don't want to forget that as well. This was a Rex Stout production back in the old days. Now this is, Nero makes his associate Archie Goodwin, I believe, attend a cocktail party in the certain knowledge that someone will die, but who?
Someone will die.
Yeah, another kind of mystery thriller, right?
Yeah.
Archie Goodwin, is he the alter ego of Nero Wolfe?
No, he's kind of like the assistant
Yeah.
of Nero Wolfe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
He's kind of his sidekick.
The sidekick, huh? Well, let's talk about Inner Sanctum. What really attracted you to this production? And of course, you've been working with the old pros for a couple of years now.
Oh, I just love to keep my foot in the door. You know, I'm 88 years old. I'm about to be 89. You know, so you just keep trying to keep your foot in the
busy,
door.
right?
And John Perrick, our wonderful, wonderful head. I mean,
Yes.
he's the director and all of that kind of thing. He says, Barbara, how would you like to do this one? Or, you know, he just asked me. We've done African Queen. We've done Driving Miss Daisy. We've done. Sorry, wrong number. We've done, in Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
We've done all of these because they were radio shows
Right.
too. And when Cecil B. DeMille Lux Radio Theater, when they did the movie, then they would automatically take those people who were in the movie and move them over to Lux Radio Theater, and they did it before a live audience.
Wow.
They did, and I did a few of those, and so it was kind of fun to go back to radio. I love doing radio because, well, first of all, you didn't have to get all dressed up. We did a little bit because of the audience,
Right.
but you're kind of around mics and that kind of thing. And it's always interesting to me how and so we read it on stage with a script. Once you start, I think the audience is a little taken aback by the fact that they're reading it. But once they get into it, 5 minutes they get into
Right.
it, and they're all of a sudden involved in the story.
Right.
And I love that.
Once you capture them the first
You,
couple of
you
minutes,
get them.
that's it,
You
right?
just grab them.
Now, I believe Sheila Bialka is also helping you with some
Oh,
of the
very much
production.
so. She's kind of with John Perrick. I mean,
Right.
they're kind of the
They
heads
work
of the-
together, don't they?
They will. They
Speaking
do.
of John Perrick, he actually got you here early this morning. He was going to join us this morning.
He told me
but,
8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's how, you know, they want
Well,
to make sure
I
their
met some
stars-
very lovely people in the dressing room.
there
I
you
love
go.
to meet people.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
if they love meeting me so much because I'm such a chatterbox, but we have a concert pianist in there
Yeah, we're looking
and a
forward to-
mezzo soprano.
Right. You picked a good day to come on the
I
show.
picked a good day.
Well, this is going to be on July 17th and 18th, and those are the 7 o'clock performances, and then you're also going to have your matinee performance on July 19th. Tickets are only $12. That is
I
a
know.
great
No,
deal.
they just want people to come.
Right.
You know,
So-
goodness knows we don't get paid.
Right.
No, we just do it for the love
Absolutely.
of it. Yeah.
So when people do come to the performance, like you said, they'll see maybe you in a director's chair or some other actors in a chair and their microphone, and then Johnny and his Foley equipment is off to the
But the
side.
lovely thing about it is that we do it just the way they did then, because they had sponsors.
Right.
And the sponsor for our show was Colgate toothpaste. So we have these 3 wonderful ladies who sing so well. They're like the Andrews sisters, and they sing about Colgate toothpaste.
Right.
And then we have this lady who Evelina, she talks about, you know, are you worried about your breath and this all this whole thing that she does, and she's at a mic. And then we have, of course, Johnny, who's our wonderful sound person, our Oscar winner, and he's off on the side with his wind machines and his creaky doors and that kind of thing. So there's a lot going on that stage, and we have a kind of pretend piano, because I play the widow of a composer
Right.
who has mysteriously died.
And there's always some kind of organ music going on.
And a
It's
lot
very-
of dogs howling and a lot of weird wind
Right.
blowing. So kind of, and doors slamming shut.
Right. Oh, it sounds great.
Well, it's fun to do.
It sounds like
It's
it.
a lot of fun to do.
Well, super. This is going to be on July 17th and 18th. Be sure and go over to Clubhouse 3 box office and pick up your ticket. You'll actually see a beautiful picture of Barbara on there as well. That must have been your agent. And you'll.
No, I don't know where that came from. They presented those with us to distribute
I'm sure
in
it's
rehearsal.
John Perrick's work right here. We'll see. But be sure and be there. That's going to be on the 17th and 18th. Those are the 7 p.m. performances. July 19th at 2 o'clock. Tickets are only $12, and you can pick them up over at the box office. Thanks so much for joining us today on the program.
Thank you, Paul.
Sounds like a great program.
It's so
and-
good to be with you again.
Thank you so much. We'll be back with more of the program right after this.